Cześć, dzień dobry wszystkim, Mufik z tej strony i zapraszam Was na odcinek z serii Kingdom Come Deliverance, w którym zostało zlecone nam przesłuchanie bardzo niedobrego pana, któremu powinęła się noga. Po wielkiej bitwie w ostatnim odcinku dostaliśmy własne pomieszczenie w Ratajach, co mnie osobiście bardzo ucieszyło. Mamy stałe łóżko i skrzynkę, gdzie możemy chować kradzione graty. No i cóż, lecę do kogo ja lecę? Do sali rycerskiej na Górnym Zamku, żeby odpalić kolejne zadanie. I no to mnie przeszukaj, gość. Nic nie znalazłeś, nie? Bo wszystkie kradzione graty zostawiłem w tej skrzynce, o której przed chwilą mówiłem. No, a ja tak się zastanawiałem po tym poprzednim odcinku i po tym, jak to się odbyło, że ja tam chyba miałem gigantyczne szczęście, wręcz bym powiedział więcej szczęścia niż rozumu, jak myślałem o tym, jak to wszystko się tam odbyło, bo no zebrałem tak naprawdę wszystkie graty ze wszystkich trupów, które tam leżały. Miałem ponad 1600 wagi sprzętu na sobie. I udało się tego naszego głównego adwersarza ściągnąć z łuku, więc udało mi się też tego questa zrobić tak, że nic nie sfailowało, więc dlatego też jestem w szoku. No i się trochę rozgadałem na ten temat. Także bardzo się cieszę, że udało się to zrobić w ten sposób. Widać ewidentnie, że się da. Trzeba tylko próbować, mieć pewnie trochę farta. I z kim ja tutaj mam pogadać? Do sali rycerskiej na Górnym Zamku. Gdzie jest sala rycerska? Tu? Czy może piętro wyżej? No to nie wygląda jak sala rycerska. To bardziej wygląda jak wędzarnia. No nic. Tu? O.
My lord, I'm afraid you were right when you said these hostilities wouldn't end at Przesłuchanie.
That comes as no surprise.
What has happened?
My men reported 2 more attacks today.
Ah, Henry. I'm glad you're here. It seems like we'll have another task for you. Come and join us.
My lord,
Greetings, lad.
the bandits raided a few remote hamlets, but that's the least of our worries. They also attacked Merhoyed, and that's a much more serious matter.
Meroyed. Matthias is working there.
They attacked right after the battle in Przesłuchanie. Bastards were probably trying to prove they're still strong. But there's a silver lining. The villagers held them off, and they even took one captive. He's wounded, but we can still interrogate him.
Your Graces, I hope I'm not intruding.
On the contrary, Master Tobias. Unlike Bernard, you are the bearer of good tidings. Or so I gather from the coin you carry. Tell me, how many groschen did we find in
Ten już
previous?
się cieszy.
My lord, I'm sorry, but my news is no better than Captain Bernard's. These coins are very good. That is to say, well-made facsimiles, as we call them.
What? I don't give a what you call them. I want to know what they're facking worth.
That's
Trudne
just
słowa. A ten się załamał.
Are you saying what I think you're saying, Master Tobias? This here
It's just a pile of copper.
Kurva! Fuck!
Plated with silver, so it's still of some worth.
Kurva! Fuck!
Is it a lot of work to make such counterfeits, Master Tobias?
I should say so, sir. Highly demanding work. Especially to make such plausible forgeries. They would need a well-hidden foundry, several craftsmen, and a source of material.
But they could just be brought in from somewhere else, could they not?
Well, they could, but then again, the silver mines are nearby, and these groschen seem freshly minted, so...
So we are facing a foe who has almost limitless sources of coin. That's all we need.
Dopredel!
Well, gentlemen, it's clear what we have to do. Interrogate that captive bandit, find out their numbers, and promptly cut off their supply of money. Otherwise, they'll soon have another encampment.
if they haven't already.
I doubt it, sir. Merhayed wouldn't have been able to hold them off if they did.
Well, lad, I said we'd have work for you, but it never crossed my mind there would be this much. You've already proved your worth as an investigator, so I'm putting my faith in you again. Go to Merhayed and question that captive. Find out where those brigands are hiding, how many there are, and what they're planning. And while you're at it, see if you can find some clues as to where this counterfeit coin is coming from.
Very well, sir.
Good luck. We're counting on you. All of us. Come report to me as soon as you know anything. I'll be at the lookout point near Talmberg.
No, grubo się dzieje. Nie powiem, też bym chciał mieć taką drukarnię hajsu. No okej, każą nam się udać do Merhojedów, więc tak też uczynię. Gdzie są Merhojedy? Aż tam. Dobra, wołam konia, jedziemy. Okej, jestem w Merhojedach. Muszę się rozejrzeć. Jak rozumiem. Przesłuchaj jeńca. Dobra, znajdźmy jakiegoś człowieka. Jest tu kto? Halo, halo. Coś jara? Dobra, ktoś przyszedł.
God save you. What can I do for you?
What's happened here?
Things are bad. Very bad. First we get attacked by them brigands, barely come out of that alive. And now the plague.
Plague, you say?
Indeed so. Something's up with the village. Even the livestock are dying. It's a gruesome sight.
I heard the bandits didn't get very far here, though.
Luckily, young Straw saw them still over by the cross and woke the whole village. We even captured one. He's tied up now at Melikar's place. But then the disease came.
Who attacked you?
I don't know. Some bandits. Ever since Scarlet's was raised, they've been marauding the whole province.
Did you put up a fight?
We most certainly did. Once Melikar heard young Straw shouting to the hills, he handed everyone a pitchfork or a flail, and we ambushed the bastards.
Good on you. How did it turn out?
We gave them what for until they turned tail and ran. But they cut up young Straw something awful. He didn't live to see morning.
Who are Melikar and Straw?
That's right, you're not from around here, are you? Melikar's the one looking after things round here now. Before that, it was down to Smill from the Neuhof stud. But they killed him that time they raided the place. And young Straw is the son of Andrew, a local woodcutter. Or was, I should say. The bandits saw to that. His old man isn't taking it well.
Where will I find Melikar?
If you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, Melikar's is the house on the left.
I'd like to talk to Straw.
I see. Well, if you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, you'll see Straw's house on the right.
Dobre
Tell me more
wskazówki.
about this plague. It sounds terrible.
Worse than you can imagine. The whole stud, livestock, sheep, chickens, all dead or dying. No doubt the people will be next. Melikar's old woman's taken to her bed and it doesn't look good. Straw's wife and brother, more and more.
I'm sorry to hear it. I'm looking for Matthias. He works as a stable hand at the stud farm.
Matthias. The brigands got him, poor lad. He's lying wounded at the stud.
Thanks. That'll be all for now.
Good luck to you.
Dobra, zaczęliśmy też zadanie zaraza, jeśli dobrze pamiętam, które będziemy musieli wykonać. Natomiast chciałbym jeszcze porozmawiać z Maciejem, zanim znajdę wójta.
Hal? You're a sight for sore eyes. What are you doing here?
It's good to see you too, Matthias. Sir Radzig sent me here to investigate the raid.
Sir Radzig? Looks like you've come up in the world, mate. You're here as his envoy?
Yeah, something like that. But that's not important right now.
Well, I'm glad to see you have a job. Lots of our old neighbors have been reduced to begging. If I were in your shoes, I'd get the hell out of here. There's some disease spreading.
Disease?
Folk are saying it's the plague. Whatever it is, it's bad. It started the day after the raid. First the horses got sick, then other animals, and now people are falling ill too.
Damn! Are you alright?
Well, at least I haven't caught the sickness.
But you've been hurt.
It happened during the raid. One of those damn bandits fell on me, horse and all. My arm's badly broken, but better than a broken neck.
Tell me about the raid.
What do you want to know?
I hear one of the raiders was taken captive. I'd like to question him.
Aye, old Melachar let him have it over the head with a flail, and now he's locked up in the barn. But be careful.
Why's that?
That fucker killed young Straw, and his old man's sharpening his sickle for him. Melachar still hasn't decided what to do with him.
Ohoho.
I can tell you what he'll do with him. He'll hand him over to Sir Radzig's envoy.
No,
Me.
tutaj może
I
być
doubt
grubo z
Melachar will let him go
samosądem.
willingly. The folk here are baying for blood. Lives have been lost. First the
właśnie.
raid and now this plague. God knows what they'll do.
Can you describe the raiders?
I don't know. They came at dusk, so you couldn't see their faces. About 20 of them. They weren't humans, though. They spoke Czech.
You talked to them?
No. They were shouting at us. They were very sure of themselves to begin with, but when we hit them in the woods, they didn't look so brave.
I know you've got courage enough for any man, but how did a bunch of untrained villagers manage to hold off armed bandits?
One of the village lads caught sight of them coming through the woods and told Melachar, who roused the whole village, and everyone grabbed what they could. Pitchforks, axes, flails, and we went out to face them.
What? You mounted an assault against them?
Aye, and that was the key. It was the last thing those whoresons expected. A few of them still managed to break through to the village, probably wanted to torture.
Atak
But
uprzedzający.
even the women here were armed with what they could find, and they took the bastards by surprise.
I hear one of the raiders was taken.
Aye, old Melachar let
Why's that?
that fucker killed young...
I understand Old Straw wants revenge, but first I have to question that bandit. What happens after is no skin off my nose.
Good luck, then.
About this sickness. When did this plague start?
The day after the raid, the horses were lying down in the stable, so we knew something was up. By afternoon, they were all dead. Then other animals started getting sick, one after the other, and then people.
What are the signs that someone's getting sick?
I don't leave the house much, but folk complain of fever and shakes. Some are throwing their guts up, and others are spewing from the other end.
Has anyone died from it?
Aye, old Verba, although he was already on his last legs, so no one knows for sure if it was the plague that got him. Either way, the animals are dropping like flies, and people will end up the same for sure.
Who's ill now?
I don't know. What with my arm the way it is, I don't go outdoors much. But I know Melachar and Straw have sick ones at home.
Can I ask you a bit about Merhoyed?
I haven't been here long enough to learn much, but ask away.
Can you tell me something about Old Straw?
He's a woodcutter, tough as they come, and a hothead. He's been out of his mind since his boy died.
It's normal to grieve, though.
Depends how you look at it. Folk are afraid he'll snap or drink himself to death. What's worse, his wife caught the sickness, and he's not taking care of her.
Where can I find this Straw?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Straw lives in the right-hand one.
What's Melachar like?
The locals look up to him. Smill used to be in charge here, but he was killed in Neuhof.
I know.
Sir Hanush hasn't had time to appoint a new vassal, and folk need someone to speak for them, so they picked Melachar.
Thank God you had someone here who could take the reins.
Aye.
What's Melikar?
The local.
I know.
Sir Hanush,
Since when do subjects govern a village in place of the lord?
what can we do? If it weren't for Malachar, those bandits would have torched the place to the ground. The villagers won't follow anyone else.
Where does Melikar live?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Melikar lives in the left-hand one.
Dobra, zebrałem trochę informacji. Teraz musimy znaleźć tego Melchiora. Dobra, udało mi się znaleźć Melchiora w końcu.
Aye, that's me.
I need to speak with the prisoner.
And why is that? Who might you be?
Henry, envoy of Saradze Kobala. I'm here to investigate the attack.
I'm sorry. I have other things on my mind right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we have pestilence raging here. And Saradzig won't help us with that, any more than he helped us when we were attacked.
No news has reached Ratai of any disease here. But I'm here now, and I can help you.
Well, since you serve Saradzig, you might be of some use. If anyone can be.
Tell me what to do.
There's a stable hand living with us here, Matthias.
Yes, I know him.
And he knows some girl who helps out in the monastery infirmary. Johanka, I think her name is. She might know someone to turn to, if she's actually there.
Very well.
Dobra, pomożemy im tu.
It's probably our best hope.
Thank you. At least for taking the trouble. But then, even if you cared nothing for us, the prisoner's got the pestilence too. He'll die
No właśnie,
without
nic też się
If I have to
zaraził.
go to the monastery, I need to know as much as possible about the disease. I'll definitely need to know its symptoms. They're bound to ask me that.
It's hard to say. My wife is feverish. Others have the chills. I heard some are throwing up. Others still are breaking out in sores. But why don't you see for yourself? People talk a lot and I don't know what to believe anymore.
Very well. I'll make the rounds.
I've daubed lime on the afflicted houses. But don't stay too long in those homes.
That I can promise you.
Good luck to you.
Wystarczyło tylko chwilę poczekać i możemy lecieć z powrotem do szopy.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
Who are you?
My name is Henry, and I'm investigating on behalf of Sir Radzig Kobala.
Oh, I see. You'll have an easy job with me, boy.
How so?
I won't give you any problems.
Lubię takich.
That's sensible of you.
I'm a sensible man. Only I'd like to get it over quick and not keep the Ratte executioner busy too long. If you catch my drift.
I understand.
What do you want to know?
Everything. First, tell me who's behind all this. Who do you follow?
I follow the coin, lad. We all do.
That's not news to me, but who pays the coin?
I got my pay from Runt, like all the men in Pribyslavitz. And Runt got his money from the chief. And the chief had the coin minted.
Who's the chief? The bandit leader?
Bandit? If he heard you say that, he'd have your head on a spike. That's the kind of man he is. Nobody knows much about him, though. Only that he ain't Czech.
So he's a foreigner? German?
Don't think so. For sure he ain't Czech. And he's got plenty of coin. I'd stake my neck on it. He's got noble...
Oczywiście, że jakiś szlachcic musi w tym maczać łapy.
More by the way he talks. Any man can dress up like nobility, but he spoke all la-di-da, like a lord.
Where's that chief of yours now?
I've no idea. After Pribyslavitz, he ordered us to raid Merhoyet, but he wasn't with us. He went off who knows where. I don't reckon he'll be out of your hair for long, though.
So the chief is in command of all these operations?
You could say. I'd say you're looking at it all wrong, though.
How's that?
You ask who's in charge and who answers to who. Only this ain't some noble court. There was all sorts of gangs in Pribyslavitz, big and small. Robber barons who had their own brigades calling them my lord. Common footpads who hadn't a pot to piss in. Men came, men went. Lots of squabbles, the occasional murder. Old cronies and old rivals were meeting. Know what I mean?
I suppose so.
It was one big muddle. The main thing was nobody asked questions. I didn't give a damn who the chief was or what he had in mind, or whether he had one ball or two. All I was interested in was the coin.
Uh-huh. How did you know about Pribyslavitz? Who took you there?
A fellow by the name of Moorcock. We met near Kuttenberg. I was robbing burghers who were fleeing the town from Sigismund's army. We got to talking and he told me about Pribyslavitz.
Why did you attack Merhoyet?
The chief himself gave us the order. I reckon he wanted to show the local lords he was nowhere near finished.
So he's planning more raids?
The chief's always planning something. Pribyslavitz was only the start.
So you knew the coin was counterfeit?
Of course I did. I brought those groschen to Pribyslavitz, along with a few other things.
Did you? And where did the forgeries come from?
Like, where were they made? I don't know. Some merchant by the name of Menhart gave them to me. We used to meet at the charcoal piles near Rovna, by the crossroads there. As it happens, I'm supposed to be meeting him there about now.
So Menhart's waiting there?
Might be, might not. He could have heard what happened in Pribyslavitz and decided not to show.
And does this Menhart know where the coin comes from?
How should I know? To me, he's just another link in the chain. I deal with him, and I never ask who he deals with. Just like he knows nothing about me.
I see. So I suppose there's no point asking you if you know any more about him.
It'd be a waste of breath. All he did was give me the coin, and then we went our separate ways.
Who else knows about the money?
Apart from the chief, Menhart, Runt and me, there was a few others. The men got some real money too, with the false stuff. It'd be suspicious if they only had freshly minted coin.
You said you used to bring other things. What were they?
Letters. Menhart would give them to me for the chief. This time I was taking an answer back to Menhart too.
Have you still got that letter?
Aye. The yokels round here ain't got much interest in correspondence, apparently.
Give it to me then.
I'd be delighted.
What were the letters about?
If I knew how to read, I wouldn't be trusted to carry letters, would I? I took
Mogłeś
them
ma
from
trochę
Menhart to
ten.
the chief and back.
Coś mu się tam kołacze pod czaszką.
That's all I need to know for now.
For now, for the love of Christ, boy, don't let the executioner interrogate me. I already told you everything I know.
That's for Sir Radzig to judge.
Henry, I think old Straw's come for the brigand.
Step back from that Eden, young fella.
But you can't kill me! Not just like that!
Shut the fuck up, you weasel, and keep it fucking shut! You don't even get a say!
Calm down, Straw. He won't escape justice. After all, he's...
Don't stand in my way, Melikar!
Let Henry decide. He's the one who saved his life.
No dobrze by było go zabrać ze sobą.
He's coming with me. He's Sir Radzig's prisoner, and only Sir Radzig has the right to decide if he lives or dies.
I don't give a fuck about you or Sir Radzig fucking Kabila. That bastard killed my boy, and I'm gonna kill him.
You'll have to deal with me first. I could do with a bite to...
Chłopie, już raz ci naklepałem. Już? Okej, teraz jeszcze, żeby dokończyć zadanie, musimy się udać do Talemberku, żeby pogadać z Radzikiem. Dobra, dojechałem do pana Radzika. Teraz muszę go tylko gdzieś tu namierzyć. O, jest pan Radzik, pogadajmy.
Greetings. What do you need?
I've returned from Merhoyed, sir.
How does it look there?
I brought them help from the monastery. Brother Nicodemus and Johanka from Skalitz. Fortunately, Nicodemus was able to cure the disease. Well, at least what he's doing looks promising so far.
Thank Christ. Some good news for a change. What about the captive? Did you question him?
He was infected too.
I see. Did he survive?
Fortunately, he survived and I had a chance to question him.
What did you find out?
He was transporting the false coins to Pribyslavitz. He got them from some merchant called Menhart.
I don't know him.
Neither do I. But I know where the money's handed over. It's not far from Rovna, and this Menhart should be waiting there about now.
Excellent, Henry. We mustn't let this opportunity slip through our fingers. You go there and put pressure on this Menhart to tell us what he knows. Don't go yet. There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
God be with you. You haven't disappointed me. Nothing against Bernard, Robert, or any of those others. But none of them could find out as much as you. At least not without beatings and torture. And that doesn't always work. You're a godsend, lad.
Thank you, sir.
Now go and find out who's behind everything, and then we'll deal with them.
Yes, sir. Sir,
What is it?
sometimes I ask myself what it all means. Why does God allow such things to happen? All this slaughter and revenge, over and over.
It's a hard question. I'm no theologian. But long ago I came to the conclusion that the only thing that makes sense is that it's all a trial. Life is one long series of problems to solve. The more you solve, the better a man you become.
I never thought about it that way.
Well, just look at the pampered ones who have no concerns in life, like young Lord Capon, for instance. I shudder to think how he will rule when his time comes. Tribulations spawn in life over and over again, and we must stand our ground and face them. So, I go to Sasso and solve this one.
You can rely on me, sir.
Good luck, son.
Synu, jak w relacji ojca z synem? I na tym kończymy zadanie Przesłuchanie. Bardzo serdecznie dziękuję wszystkim za oglądanie. Gorąco zapraszam do kolejnego odcinka. Na razie to tyle, także oby do zobaczenia.